You probably never thought you needed a video on how to sit in a chair, but here we are. Now, I've been in the same boat. I spent years sitting wrong in my ergonomic chair. I was spending 8 hours a day doing image and video production, and big shocker here, I had back pain. Leaving that company and coming to BTOD, I started off sitting in an ergohuman, and I was able to get comfortable right away. The thing is, only half the solution was the improved chair. The other half was being taught how to adjust my setup properly. My goal is to get you comfortable in your current chair, but if you get to the end of the video and you realize your chair can't do the things you need it to do, check out our office chair guide linked in the description. My first tip is the solution to many people's back and neck pain, and that's to get everything at the proper height. So first off, I'm going to get my feet flat on the ground. This will require you to raise or lower your seat until your legs are at a 90-degree angle. If your chair doesn't go high or low enough to achieve this, you have two options. Number one, you can add a footrest or even a standing pad to raise your feet up. If these options still don't get your feet down to the floor, you might need to look into a petite chair. Alternatively, if you can't get your chair high enough, unfortunately the only real solution is a new chair. I'd never recommend messing around with adding a seat pad, because all they do is ruin the ergonomics of a chair. Next up, your arms need to be at a 90-degree angle with your hands comfortably rested on the keyboard. Your wrists should be straight, avoiding any uncomfortable angles. You can adjust your arm height to make this happen. Even the cheapest chairs almost all have arm height adjustment. But if you don't have the adjustment range to get it to 90-degree angle, you have a couple options. Adjusting your desk height is the best way to do this. If you have a standard height desk, it's likely 28 to 30 inches high. As you can see on our chart here, this height is going to be too tall for the average person. Personally, at 6'2", I prefer to have my desk at about 27 inches tall because I have long legs and a shorter torso. This is where an adjustable height desk is a massive setup improvement for ergonomics. Now, if an adjustable height desk is not an option, you may need to consider a new chair with a proper arm height adjustment. Now, quick bonus tip here, you do need to adjust your monitors to the correct height. Raise your monitor to be at eye level so you are not tilting your neck up or down to work. If your monitors don't have that adjustment range, you can add a desk shelf or even better, put on a set of monitor arms. Tip 2 is all about getting the proper support for the key parts of your body. Let's start with leg support. Seat depth adjustment is the feature that gives you customizable leg support. When you sit down, start by scooting your butt back in your chair so your back is flat against the backrest. If your chair includes it, adjust your seat depth so you have about 2 to 3 finger gap between the front edge of the seat and the back of your legs. There are lots of different styles of what this adjustment looks like, and a few chairs like the Aeron have different size chairs instead of including seat adjustment. There are less rules when it comes to back support. It's more about preference and feel. Full back support comes from both the lower lumbar area and the upper back. The best ergonomic chairs have an adjustable system for lumbar, with both height and strength adjustment. Some chairs have a built-in lumbar curve, and some have both the built-in curve and an adjustable system. Another option you'll see on chairs like the ergohuman is a back height adjustment to help you get that lumbar and upper support in the correct position. The Anthros chair is another unique one that lets you dial in the depth of both the pelvic and upper support. As I said earlier, I typically would never recommend adding pads to your chair, but if you're absolutely stuck with something that has no lumbar support, there are pillow options that may help you out. Just please only use this as a short-term solution while you save up for a better chair. Arm support is more than just the height, which we already covered, but we'll start with that 90-degree angle with your arms sitting at about elbow height. Your arms should be vertically against your sides to support your shoulders. If possible, adjust the chair's arms to the correct width that fits your body. Your arms should be able to drop down naturally at your sides without them needing to reach out to rest on the chair. You also don't want to feel like you're being pinched too tight between the arms. Arm depth adjustment works to give you support whether you're sitting up straight at your desk or whether you're sitting back in your chair to recline. Anything else, like pivot, feels like a bonus to tweak the exact location to your preference. We've all been told don't slouch, but usually we hear it when we're standing, not sitting. The idea here is to make sure your feet are flat on the floor and slide your butt back in the chair. Then get your shoulders flat against the backrest and make sure your arms stay straight ahead. Now let's be honest, it's doubtful you're going to stay sitting perfectly like this all day long. The most difficult thing for me is I love to cross my legs or put one leg under the other. So while you might end up falling into these old ways, slouching or crossing your legs, it's important not to spend hours sitting like this. I'm sure you've seen how you can set up your phone or watch to remind you to stand up or move. So if you feel you need some accountability, you can set up a reminder to tell you to sit up. Or an even simpler way of doing this, just stick a post-it note somewhere on your monitor that says sit up. Tip 4 continues on a similar theme to number 3, and that's to keep moving. Even if you're sitting in that perfect posture, it's not good to sit for long periods of time. It's good to stand every hour, even if it's just for a quick stretch, and to let your blood flow get moving. If you sit for long periods of time, you are likely to become even more and more uncomfortable, which is only going to encourage you to sit in a non-ergonomic position. Even better than a quick stand and stretch, take a short walk to keep you active. Make sure to avoid sitting in any positions that cause tension on your muscles. If you can sense that you're flexing or tightening up your body while sitting, try rolling your shoulders back to melt the tension away. If you never find that tension go away, you may just be in the wrong chair for your body type. I found this exact thing happening to me with the Sihu S300. No matter how I adjusted the chair, I found myself always tensing my core. Just a quick bonus posture tip, are you thinking you really need a headrest? Let me paraphrase the words of BTOD's VP Ryan. Why would I need a headrest? That's what my neck is for. Well, now that's a bit of an oversimplification, but in a way it's true. You shouldn't really need one, but I understand it helps a lot of people be more comfortable in their chair, especially when reclined. For chairs with a headrest, make sure they can adjust to fit the curve of your neck. Other headrest styles are more of a backstop for your head and don't offer much for specific support. Your head should never feel like it's being pushed forward or downward. If you've made it through my first 4 tips and you realize, shoot, my chair can't do this, it sounds like you might need a new chair. Finding a chair that has the right adjustments to make it specifically fit your body is crucial. Here at BTOD, we have sizing for all of our top chairs to use as a fit guide. As awkward as it may feel, don't be afraid to look at specific chair sizing and actually measure your body. You can sit down in whichever chair you have and measure how much space you're filling. For the tall crew, you should be looking to see if the seat depth adjustment and the backrest height are long enough to accommodate for your height. Large-bodied people should look for the seat and back width and also the space between the armrests. For petite or shorter individuals, check specifically for seat height and depth as well as that same distance between the arms. You can check out our office chair guide full of all the most popular chairs. This can really help you narrow down what chairs might be a good fit for you. Thanks for watching.